is adversity.
Right center! He tied the game!
Refuse to lose.
20 strikeouts!
United we play. United we win.
And goodbye, home run!
All hits all the time.
We are family.
Max Scherzer, double-digit Ks.
We're busting ours to kick yours.
Fun to watch.
-15.
Respect all, fear none.
Into the upper deck.
Intensity is not a perfume.
Oh, mercy!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone, welcome to MASN All Access, presented by Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm Sarah Perlman, and I'm really happy you joined live today because we have a lot of good stuff to talk about, right? Exciting show because the Orioles are on a hot streak, 3 wins in a row, and the starting rotation's in playing great. The players seem happy, and it just looks like fun out there. So we're definitely going to touch on the past few games and then discuss the trade a little bit because yesterday I sat down and just got to talk with Buck Showalter a little bit about the speculations going on. So definitely stick around to hear that because you don't want to miss his comments on players like Zach Britton and Brad Brock. But let's just get into these past few games. Starting rotation has 3 consecutive quality starts, and they haven't had 3 straight quality starts since May 19th through the 21st. So definitely been a while, and you could tell, I mean, they look like a different rotation if you ask me, and I'm sure you feel the same way. I know all of us here at MASN feel that way. And Buck was pleased with the way Bundy and Tillman performed out of the break after they had extra rest, and then they started on Monday and Tuesday.
If people actually knew what these guys went through every 5th day physically to get out there on the mound, they'd have a whole different respect for it. But I'm just going to take the fact that they both pitched well, gave us a good chance to win. We're instrumental in it, and hopefully that continues. We're going to need that. And
then, of course, Kevin Gausman last night, he continued off that momentum, pitched 6 innings, a 4-hit ball, and he struck out 8. And I don't know about you guys, but that was definitely the best Kevin Gausman I've seen in a while, and I'm definitely sure you feel the same way. And we're happy to see that Kevin Gausman. We're happy to see this starting rotation. They're finally looking like they're coming to the form, even though it's the second half of the season. Therefore, the team needs to stay on this roll, keep it going, and they're going to do that with Wade Miley on the mound tonight for the Orioles. So as of today, the O's are within 4 games of 500, and they're 3.5 games back for the second wild card, right? So they need to keep the wins going. And if they do win tonight, this will be their first 4-game home sweep of the Texas Rangers since June 30th through July 3rd, 2014. So it's been quite a while, to say the least. And the Rangers, of course, will have some competition tonight because they have a good guy on the mound. Cole Hamels will start tonight, and although he's been successful this season, he's not so successful at Camden Yards. In fact, he's 0-2 with a 7.50 ERA in his career, although they're just 2 outings here at Camden Yards. So besides that, let's just hope the Orioles show up tonight because it really seems since they got swept by the Cubs, they've kind of gained in the locker room, gathered, and just said, guys, let's get it together. And Trey Mancini definitely says that after getting swept. They're really just looking and they see how crucial it is to keep winning.
I think that's part of it, kind of waking up from the Cubs series. I mean, everybody here has tremendous talent, and it's there. And, after the Cubs series, we kind of, came back this series knowing that we needed to put a lot of runs together and try to win some games. So that's been the main focus.
And that's exactly what they've done. Besides the pitching, they have put runs together. I think yesterday it was the 7th inning, 7 runs. I mean, we haven't seen an Orioles team like that in quite a few weeks. So props to Trey Mancini for pointing that out. And obviously the Cubs wasn't great, but this series against the Rangers has been unreal and really fun to watch. But finally, we do need to talk about the trade like I mentioned. I talked with Buck Showalter about it. I just really asked about the internet speculation in regards to trading players and selling them like Brad Brock and Zach Britton. And he had no problem with giving his honest opinion.
Well, 2 words there are used. Speculation I don't get involved in. Online I don't get involved in. So I'm 0 for 2 there because it's not conducive to our team. And our players don't really pay a lot of attention to it. If I feel like it's an issue, I'm aware that they're exposed to some things that I choose not to be exposed to because of how inaccurate they are. So it's kind of like how you choose to lose. How do you choose to lead your life and what you think is important. You stay in reality, and we live in a realistic world here.
First off, I have to give Buck credit for not reading the internet speculation, trade rumors, etc. Because as a manager, you can imagine that's extremely stressful. And side note, I think it's interesting how he said it's inaccurate, right? So maybe last week they were probably going to be sellers, and this week they really could look like buyers. But besides that, I think it's tough when you hear about players like Zach Britton, who's been injured and now he's back. And it's really no secret that he wants to stay with the Orioles, and it's also no secret the Orioles want him to stay.
You know, I was talking to Zach about something yesterday, and he was laughing about a lot of it. Obviously, he wants to stay here, and we want to stay here. But, you know, right now we're trying to win a baseball game. That's part of the gig. They act like it's some deadline. I mean, there's a lot of trades that are going to be made after the so-called deadline. That's a false deadline.
So I'll leave you with this kind of thought because I'm curious what you think. If the Orioles do continue to win, are they going to be buyers or sellers? Most likely to a lot of people, they might be looking like buyers. So use the hashtag IBackTheBirds. I do want to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to watch the fourth and final game of the series tonight at Camden Yards, Rangers versus our Orioles. Coverage begins at 6:30 on MASN. I'm Sarah Perlman, and this was MASN All Access. But I do want to leave you with something really interesting I think you guys will really enjoy watching. Casey Baines, founder of Casey Cares, joined Ambassador Chris Davis and kind of talked about the next event, which helps children and families all over the area.
It's crazy to think that we've been helping children in the community for over 17 years. It's all about providing those little moments that will end up being those lasting memories. Because these families are not just going through a normal childhood like many do, but they're fighting for their lives.
I know you got a very charitable person alongside of you. Chris, how did you get involved in it?
We first heard about it when Casey was dealing with Nick and Christina Markakis, and really that was the first time we had ever heard of the organization or seen the race, and we just kind of fell in love with it. And over the years, it's kind of changed hands. And last 2 years ago, I guess it was, Brian Mattis and I went to the extra innings place where we played a little bit of baseball and just ran around and had fun, and that's when Jill and I kind of decided to partner up with Casey and I guess really be the face somewhat of the Orioles for the event.
Casey, how important is it to have Chris Davis involved?
The Davises are way too modest. First off, they didn't just play a little bit of baseball. I want to say Chris threw like 1,000 wiffle ball pitches to make sure that every kid not only got a hit, but got to go around the bases. It's amazing. You can see it when they interact with the kiddos, not just in the 5K, but Chris and Jill are involved in Casey Cares throughout the year, on the field and off of the field. Whether it's coming out while their kiddos get to watch BP and saying hello, or whether it's taking the time and getting to throw a wiffle ball pitch to them. They are really inspirations to our program, and they get it because these children have been stripped of their childhoods. They wake up every day planning on what doctor's visit or what scan they have to. But when the Davises get involved and team up with the Orioles Reach, it's amazing the impact they make on so many.